Hello friends, today in this tutorial we will basically look at a very basic question which is asked in every React.js interview. This is basically props drilling problem inside the React.js. So what is drilling? So why this problem occurs? So I will be showing you a very simple example of this drilling problem inside React.js. Prop drilling, guys, basically refers to whenever we want to transfer data from one component to our other component in a component tree. So let's suppose we have this React.js application. We have this parent component which basically says here hello world. So if you see inside basically the demo here, so it is printing out hello world out there. So let's suppose from this parent component I need to transfer some information to the child component. So how we can do that? So I will simply create a components folder here, and inside this we will basically create a child, or we can simply create a child A component, child A JSX. So this will be a functional component here. So let me create this. So this is child A. You will see that child A component, and let me create one other component which will be child B JSX. This will again be a functional component child B. You will see that. And one other component, let me create this, which is called as child C.jsx. Again, this will be a functional component child C. You will see that. So now we have three components out there: child A, child B, and child C. So this is our parent component, which is app.jsx, and I need to transfer a piece of data here. So let's suppose my name here. So let's suppose I need to transfer this name property, guys, and I need to print this name. So this is basically, let me print this name right here in the parent component. So we can print the name in the parent component with this syntax, which is curly brackets name. So we are here inside the parent component, so that's why the name is printed out. You will see that. So now we simply need to transfer this name in the child component. We need to print this inside our child A, child B, and child C. So how we can pass this? We can basically do like this. So first of all, we will include the child A component. You will see it will be imported from the components child A. And now to basically pass this property, we will pass it as a property, as a prop. And basically we can pick any name of your choice, and inside this curly brackets you will pass the name here like this. So now we are passing this as a property, guys, as a prop. So now we can receive this inside our child A component, and this you can do like this. This props will be there, and here you can simply render out the name. So we can simply say here, we can say the name is inside h1, the name is, we can wrap this inside the div tag. So we can simply say here child A component, and here we can simply render out the name simply while the name is, and we can simply say here props dot name. So whatever is the attribute that you are passing here, whenever you are passing this as a property, so this is basically name here. So we are using props dot name. So we are using this dot syntax. So you will see basically, if you see, this is child A component which is rendering out the name is John Williams, and you will see that we are successfully passing the data with the help of a property which is props dot name. So this is quite normal situation, guys. So whenever you develop your React.js application, you pass the data from the parent component to the child component. So this is not a problem. But if you have millions of components, let's suppose inside your components folder you have millions of components, thousands of components for your application. In this case we have three components. So let's suppose we need to transfer this name to the child C component, and this problem occurs whenever this component is contained inside this. So let's suppose inside child A we are calling the child B component. So what we can say, we can call the child B component like this. So here we are calling the child B component, and inside child B component we are calling child C component. So they are interlinked with each other. So here we will call the child C component. So you will notice the pattern here, guys. Inside the parent component we are calling the child A component, and inside child A we are calling child B, and inside child B we are calling child C. So in this situation, this prop drilling problem occurs. So let's suppose now I need to transfer this data here, John Williamson, and I need to print this inside the child C component. So how we can do that? So we can't directly write like this. So name is not accessible here because name is declared in the parent component. We need to transfer this to this child C component with this route. First of all, I need to pass it to the child A component with the help of this prop here, and this child A will get it. You can also just destructure it like this name, and again we need to pass it to the child B component like this inside curly bracket, and then this child B component will receive it like this name, and then again we need to pass it to the child C component like this, and then lastly inside child C we will get the name inside as a property name, and then if you see, you will be able to print out the name. So if you now see, the name is John Williamson. So just to clarify, this is basically the child C component. So we can simply write child C. You will see child C here. So this is basically the problem of prop drilling, guys. Prop drilling refers to repeatedly passing the data from one component to other component. So you will see inside this child A component we don't need the name. We are not using the name property here. We are just passing it to child B, and inside child B we don't need this name property. We are just passing it to child C, and inside child C we are printing out. So this is a lot of code that we need to write, guys. First of all, we need to pass it to child A from parent component, and then from child A we need to pass it to child B, and then from child B to child C. This is basically the problem of prop drilling, and solutions like context API, which is called as global state, and Redux, basically the state management library, are alternatives for this prop drilling problem. If you have a very large application, if you want to just manage your state of your React.js application, instead of using this props, we can use solutions like context API, or we can use Redux, where in a single file we will declare all the state, all the methods that we will use it inside the React.js application, and every component can directly use that state instead of passing it using these props. So I think this is a really good problem, which is mostly asked inside for beginners. If you go for any sort of job interviews for React.js developer, they will definitely ask what is prop drilling. So you need to explain it like this with an example of code. All the source code, guys, I have given in the description of this live stream, so you can go to it and you can copy paste all the source code which is given. So we have, this is as a prop drilling. So if you understand this video, please hit that like button, and I will be seeing you in the next live stream.